Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today to have another conversation about an interesting topic that is relevant to our lives, that is relevant to our development, that is relevant to our mindset, that is relevant to our health and wealth. This is the Big Africa podcast, and I'm Bamai Namata. Last week, I talked about a very important topic, which was dealing with insecurity and building your confidence. And this week, I'm going to talk about something that can be considered more of a follow-up to that. A wise man once said, "We buy things with money we don't have to impress people we don't like." That is a really profound statement, just to say that we do a lot of things, we make a lot of effort to look the right way, to look rich, to project a certain image. Sometimes an image which must not necessarily be true or be us or be our authentic selves, but we make a lot of effort to project this out to the world, to show everyone that this is us. And today I'll be talking about how does this manifest in our lives, what are the causes of this, and how do we fix it? Because at the end of the day, it's all about solutions. How do you make sure that this does not continue happening and this does not affect our lives? Why do we make so much effort to look rich, to look the right way for people we maybe don't care about or don't even know, or who have so little impact in our lives? This manifests in so many different ways. But firstly, it's all about you buying things you don't need. Are you living in a 10-bedroom house when maybe you're a family of 4 persons? Do you have a car that has a V12 engine, but you only drive maybe 4 kilometers every day and go nowhere out of the town that you live in? We buy things we don't need. We buy clothes, we buy new shoes, new everything, new gadgets that we don't need. We don't get to use them. We don't use them to have the capacity that they can go to. And at the end of the day, we end up wasting resources we do not have. We end up wasting money we don't have, trying to impress those that maybe are not even thinking about us, or maybe we don't like as people. We know that, these are people we don't really like. We make so much effort to buy things, to look good for them. That is so bizarre if you ask me. Another way that this manifests is caring too much about people and what they think. We care too much about what people think. Every little thing we do, we say, what would the neighbors say? What would my friends say? You're in a bad relationship, in an abusive relationship, or in a bad job, or a bad situation in life, but at the end of the day, you cannot leave because you think, what would my neighbors say? What would the village people say? What would my family say? You care too much about what people say. You care so much, and you want to project this attitude of always being perfect, always being right. This is really, really disastrous in so many ways. And another way that this manifests is going into debt to be able to buy things, to show off, or to do other things. This is a very good example of this. Is those who maybe they want to get married. They want to get married to a spouse, and maybe you don't have money to do a wedding that's as big as the one Davido and Chioma did, and you think to yourself, now I have to go and get into debt because I need to have this wedding. I need to show for the town. I need to show all these people who don't know me, who don't care about me, that I am also amazing. I'm also perfect, that I also have money. And at the end of the day, you get into debt. You take money from so many sources. And after a lavish wedding, you can't even go for a small honeymoon out of town. You can't feed your family. You have to spend a lot of time paying back these debts, paying back the money which you owe other people. It is a really, really bad situation, and it manifests itself in so many more ways. But at the end of the day, it's all about you showing off with resources you don't have, trying to be impressive, to look impressive to other people, going away from your authentic self. And the causes of this, I think, it really boils down to what I talked about last week. It's really about insecurity. It's really about how do I feel inside. How do I feel as a person? Am I okay with who I am? Do I need the validation of other people? Do I need them to tell me that I'm enough? if you have a lot of that in you, you have that insecurity that you've not dealt with, at the end of the day, you'd always want to buy things to impress people. You'd always care too much about what they think of your appearance. You'd get into debt to do impressive things or to look good in the eyes of others. It's really about that. And at the end of the day, we live in a world today where social media also makes everything much more difficult. As in, we get to see these perfect curated lives of others and think this is the life, this is people's day-to-day life. Not understanding that, yeah, these highlight reels of people's lives. This is what they want to show you. And at the end of the day, they are just like you, living day to day with all the problems that you as a person you might have. And social media doesn't make it any easier because we end up comparing ourselves to our peers every day, to the people we went to school with, to the people we work with, to the people that are our neighbors are in our lives. We want to position ourselves to look like them, to make them also know that we are there. Such a bad situation. And at the end of the day, it keeps so many people poor. It keeps you poor because you get to spend money that you don't have. It keeps you poor because you get to spend money that you should use for your future, that you should save up and invest for your future. You should save up and invest towards building something for yourself, something for your family, something for your wife and kids. You don't get to do this. You don't get to save up. You don't, as a young person, get to build up towards your future, to get to be further educated, to build your skills and competencies. And that is such a bad situation. But at the end of the day, it's always something that has to be fixed. How do you fix this is a big question. Firstly, I think you need a bit of a mindset shift to say that I'm going to intentionally stop competing. That's the first thing. You have to sit yourself down and understand that all the people that you see around you with the perfectly manicured lives are not at the end of the day as perfect. Maybe you can take some time and go behind the scenes, go behind the Facebook posts, go behind the Instagram, the cute Instagram pictures, go behind all the wonderful videos on YouTube and try to understand better what those people are like on a day-to-day. And you see, at the end of the day, these people are just like you. They wake up every day, they have the same problems, they have to go to work, they have families to take care of, they have friends to deal with, almost the same problems as you. And on a day-to-day, they are not wearing the flashy clothes or the flashy shoes or all the things they are portraying on these media platforms. They are just like you. So at the end of the day, you have to stop competing. You have to tell yourself, it's not worth it. Stop competing. Focus on yourself. Focus on your journey. Your journey is really all that you have at the end of the day. Is where you start from. You can't start from point 0 and want to compete with someone that is at point 100 in their timeline. You have to start from where you are. You have to start from what you have and compete with yourself and see how much progress you're making. If you're not making enough progress, yeah, that's also something to work on. You have to put more energy on yourself to make more progress. But at the end of the day, you cannot compete with people that sometimes are ahead of you or those who are faking it to look better than you. You have to stop competing. And another way to fix this issue of trying to look rich that is keeping you poor is to focus on bigger goals. There are a lot of things that you can do with your life. But at the end of the day, we waste our time, we waste so much time looking at smaller stuff, focusing on the details, focusing on others who are not necessarily who we aspire to. At the end of the day, we have bigger goals, but we make no effort towards those goals. We procrastinate. We waste time instead of focusing on those goals. At the end of the day, you have to focus on those bigger goals in your life. What do you want to achieve? What change do you want to bring in your community? What do you want to take your family out of poverty? Do you want to make money? Do you want to build a family? Those are all very big, worthy goals that we can focus on instead of the smaller things of every day. What does my friend look like? What has this person eaten today that they've posted on social media? What type of car is this person driving? Those are really, really small goals, and those are details of life. Those are everyday details, but there are bigger things that we have to work on. More bigger ideas. Do you want to bring positive change to your community as a policy maker? Do you want to be the governor of your state? All these big and lofty goals that we need to focus on. Once you take that energy that you have, of course, we are young people, and young people have a lot of energy bubbling in them. You have to take that energy and put it into those bigger goals, which would help you to transition away from some of the other smaller things which waste your time and don't take you anywhere. A last fix that I think I can recommend to this issue of always making the effort, trying to look rich, is understanding how little other people think about you. If you understand that, everything changes. Because at the end of the day, we think people think about us so much. We think when we step into a room, everyone is looking at us and thinking, wow, this person is not well dressed, or this person doesn't look the right way. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that people are not thinking about you as much as you think they are. From personal experience, I always used to worry so much about every time I stepped into a room. I always used to worry that, oh, everybody's looking at me. And that made me put in so much effort into my appearance. I would maybe want to go for an event and I would spend so much time ironing every little crease of my suit or polishing my shoes to just the right shine and putting in all this effort, which at the end of the day, you step into that room, nobody is actually looking at you. In your head, you're thinking, maybe they are, maybe this person is looking at me. But if you turn around, you realize, everybody's actually just in their own head thinking about themselves. Maybe thinking the same thing as you, that everyone else is also looking at them and they're trying to adjust and their comportment accordingly. But so few people are actually looking at you that at the end of the day, you see, maybe all this effort that I'm putting in to try to buy things to impress these people, to try to care too much about my appearance, maybe all this effort is not worth it. You will realize that as you grow older, as you start understanding more of human nature and how people think and behave, you have to really, really put yourself down and understand these things. Because at the end of the day, if you don't, you're going to spend your whole life, maybe just a few decades, you're going to spend all of that worrying about what other people think, living for others, basically, and not being authentic to your true self, and definitely not being able to reach your full potential. Thank you very much. Hope that has been value for you. I'm going to be back again next week to talk about an even more interesting topic, or maybe have a guest over this time around. Thank you very much. I'm Bamai Namata. This has been the Big Africa podcast, and I look forward to talking more with you. Thank you for watching, and see you next week.